Good evening. I would like to call the regular meetings of the Housing Successor, Successor Agency, and City Council to order. City Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Martin. Councilmember Mora.
Here.
Councilmember Sarno. Mayor Pro Tem Zamora.
Here.
And Mayor Rodriguez.
Here. Thank you. I would like to call upon Mayor Pro Tem Zamora to give the invocation.
You guys can please stand up, please. Bow your heads. Heavenly Father, we ask your blessing on this council as we meet tonight. Grant us both wisdom and compassion as we make decisions about the future of our community. We ask this in your holy name. Amen.
I would like to call upon Samuel Zamora to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Flag, place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, Samuel Zamora, I would like to know what school you go to and what hobbies or sports you are involved in.
I go to Lake Center Middle School. I play soccer. I like watching movies. My favorite movie is Star Wars.
No, go ahead and tell the audience. Yes.
My name is Samuel Zamora. I go to Lake Center Middle School. My hobbies are soccer, and I like watching movies. My favorite movies are Star Wars and Marvel.
What do you do for Lake Center Middle School? How do you represent them?
Thank you so much. This is our future. Thank you. Thank you for being here today.
Who's your favorite uncle?
Item number 5, public comments. Public comments are now open. Anyone joining us through Zoom can use the raise hand function if you wish to make a public comment on any item on the agenda or not on the agenda. The city clerk will see if you have raised your hand through the Zoom application. For those that are here to make a public comment in person, you will have an opportunity once the city clerk announces your name. You will have 3 minutes to speak. City clerk, do we have any members of the public that wish to speak today?
Madam Mayor, we don't have any speakers today.
Thank you. I will now close public comments and move on to the next item. Item number 6, Housing Successor Agenda. We have one consent item. Is there a motion for the approval of item number 6?
I'll move item number 6.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? So ordered. Item number 7, Successor Agency Agenda. We have one consent item. Is there a motion for the approval of item number 7? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? So ordered. Item number 8, City Council Agenda. We have 9 consent items. Item A through item I. Is there a motion for the approval of the City Council consent agenda?
Members of the council, as far as consent agenda number 8, I am going to recuse myself from item number or letter D. I am a chairperson of the applicant for one of the fireworks stands. But everything else, well, I'll make a motion to pass.
So,
Item D, I'm abstaining.
all right, I'll second.
Council, for clarification, the motion is for approval of the entire consent calendar with
Except,
Councilmember Moore abstaining from that one item.
Thank you.
second.
All those in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? So ordered. Item number 9, new business. Request for out-of-state travel for the Director of Planning and Assistant Director of Planning to attend the 2022 International Council of Shopping Centers parentheses ICSC, exhibition and conference in Las Vegas, Nevada. I would like to call on Director of Planning, Wayne Morrell.
I move, Wayne.
Good afternoon, Madam Mayor, members of the audience. So once again, we have the International Council of Shopping Centers. I know you guys give me a hard time. I go to Las Vegas. I don't drink, I don't gamble, I don't smoke, I don't do any of that stuff. But yes, it is an opportunity to meet with people from developers from all over the world. And I know we do not have that many properties that are available, but it's also an opportunity to find out what other cities are doing, what's new, what's innovative, and really come back and bring something to the city that could potentially be unique. So hopefully you agree and give us that opportunity. And we will have a booth again there. So thank you. Any questions? Thank you.
All right, if there's no discussion, all those in favor, say aye.
Wait up, I'll move. I'll move. Go ahead.
Now,
Any opposed?
We have to do the vote.
Do we have to do a vote?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
No. Yeah, all in favor.
All in favor?
aye.
Those opposed? So ordered. Thank you. Item number 10, approval of agreement between the City of Santa Fe Springs and the California State University of Long Beach Student Intern Program. I would like to call on Family and Human Services Manager, Ed Ramirez.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Council. For over 20 years, the City of Santa Fe Springs Family and Human Service Division has partnered with local universities to provide undergraduate social work students for valuable field work and experience working with families, older adults, and community at large. Every year, the Family and Human Service Division works and partners with Cal State University system. Council may recall, we also partner with Cal State Los Angeles, but in this particular instance, we are talking with Cal State Long Beach in this agreement. To qualify for the internship program, students are required to be in their last year of their Bachelor of Social Work, complete 420 hours, and students and then are also trained and coached by our city caseworkers. Yvonne Peraza Mendoza is our preceptor, and then we also have Yvonne Ramos, who is also a BSW major, which I will shortly acknowledge. Students actually do get hands-on training, guided case management services, integration classwork with fieldwork, service to the community, and they actually have heavily been involved with many of our special events, such as the holiday basket programs or the backpack programs and so forth. So they do get a wealth of knowledge when it comes to servicing the community. As I mentioned, Yvonne is our caseworker too. She holds a bachelor's degree in social work from Cal State Long Beach. She has experience working in the field of mental health, medical social work, gang intervention, and is school-based social worker. She is our initial preceptor who assists Evelyn with the actual oversight of the program. Evelyn Ramos holds her bachelor's degree in social work from Cal State Los Angeles, and she has experience working with nonprofit sector in the emphasis in mental health and early childhood education. Our interns, post-internship, we've had approximately 40 interns over the years complete the program through their schools, 11 of which have done so in the last 5 years. Some former student interns have served locally in agencies like SASFA, The Whole Child, and it provides Exceptional Children's Foundation, Alma Family Services, and Volunteers of America and Pacific Clinics. Others have taken their skills abroad, states, other countries as well. We do know that we have one individual who traveled to Costa Rica to provide his education, and the United Kingdom. Many have pursued their master's degree in social work and have become licensed clinical social workers holding positions as directors or higher administrative jobs. For this particular agreement, there is no monetary attachment to this. It's a non-monetary agreement with no fiscal impact to the budget. The agreement also allows for additional case management resources with the interns actually helping and providing more services to the community. So this evening, my recommendation is to approve the California State University Long Beach Student Field Placement Agreement, authorize the mayor to execute and sign the California State University Long Beach Student Fieldwork Placement Agreement. And that concludes my presentation. If there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
All right, is there any discussion or motion for the approval of item number 10? Is there a second? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? So ordered. Item number 11, adoption of resolution number 9780, authorizing the city manager to accept the California State Library Inspiration Grant for the Tech Lab for seniors. I would like to call on Librarian 3, Deborah Rea.
Mayor and City Council. The William C. Gordon Learning Center is the satellite branch library of the Santa Fe Springs City Library. This location has been a hub for seniors because it's located at the Gus Velasco Neighborhood Center and has public computers. Since the center's creation in 2012, the circulation of books and audiovisual materials has been minimal. However, computer usage has been steadily increasing, and often some seniors have had to wait for an open computer terminal. Funding provided by William C. Gordon for the creation of the Learning Center was depleted in fiscal year 21-22. In keeping with the Library Services Division 2022 goal of evaluating services, programs, and facilities, staff believe the Willie Gordon Learning Center will best meet user demand as a technology center. It's not going. The Library Division in Community Services applied for and received a grant from the California State Library for $29,345 to fund the conversion of the Willie Gordon Learning Center from a circulating library branch to a technology center for seniors. This grant will pay for 13 new computers, new computer tables and chairs, a new printer, and a large monitor. Library staff will be able to provide in-depth technical support to seniors and conduct computer training classes. Although this conversion was designed for seniors in mind, the facility can be used for a variety of computer users. The Technology Center will be open to the public beginning July 2022. Operating hours will be Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. Staff will publicize and promote reopening on both the city's and the library's social media platforms, articles and the activity guide and flyers that will be distributed to all city facilities. And I want to add that this was a team effort with library staff and IT staff, but the lead person on this was Mayumi Duvera. She's our new librarian too, and she designed the new space and she wrote the grant. There's no fiscal impact to the general fund, and all costs associated with this project are funded by the California State Library Inspiration Grant. And so the recommendation is to accept the grant of $29,345 from the California State Library to convert the Willie Gordon Learning Center from a circulating library branch to a technology center for seniors. Thank you. Are there any questions?
I have something, go ahead.
Yeah. All right. I was just wondering if you guys can also, maybe during the summer, or if you guys can utilize some of our kids from Santa Fe High School or St. Paul that need extra hours to volunteer, because I do believe since they're really tech savvy, they can actually help out a lot of our seniors or give them that one-on-one support. So if you guys can look into the different schools, I know we have Mr. Fernandez here, so he could take that back to Santa Fe High School and probably, ask any of those kids if they can help us out.
We'll definitely do that. Yes.
Thank you. Deborah, I also wanted to ask if you can be a speaker at our women's club. so that our seniors can have the opportunity to learn more about how to use our computer systems. And Ms. Tavera, is she here today? Can you stand up, please? I'd like to thank you for the grant. Thank you for filling it out. Great job. Yes, thank you. Okay, well, the discussion, is there any discussion or a motion for the approval of item number 11?
Second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? So ordered. Aye. Item number 12, Pioneer Boulevard Street Improvements, Charlesworth Road to Los Nietos Road, award of contract. I would like to call on the Director of Public Works, Noe Negrete.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, Council. We have before you is an award of contract for Pioneer Boulevard in between Charlesworth and Los Nietos Road. Much needed, all the trucks that seem to use that as a cut through. But this is not our customary award of contract. So in reviewing the bids for the contract, we got 6 bids on March 30th, and the apparent low bidder was Dash Construction Company. In reviewing their bid, however, we did find some discrepancies. What we're having before you is we're asking you to determine that the bidder is non-responsible and non-responsive. And for the public contract code, that does mean something. The reason why we're deeming them not responsible is doing their license check. We found multiple citation violations that were being disclosed. The 4 that I've listed on the screen were the most alarming, which was the abandonment of a project without legal excuse of a project, departed from trade standards, they departed from plans or specifications, and they exceeded contract amount. On top of that, when people do bid with us, we ask them to provide experience, similar experience. In this case, it was a paving project of a roadway. In examining their bid, they failed to provide any street paving projects. Most of their experience was minor concrete repairs and also minor asphalt patching repairs. In addition, they're also deemed non-responsive. When you do submit a bid, it has to be on the forms that you purchase from the city. So for example, it'll have official bid in red, and it'll come that you purchased that from our plans and specs. We did confirm that they did purchase it from us, but the proposal that they submitted was a copy of that. So that therefore they failed to comply with the instructions to bidders. And also there was a math error in their bid amount. Staff contacted them. They acknowledged the error. They accepted the error. That would actually make their bid $16,875,000 less. However, with these findings of being not responsible and not responsive, we're asking that the bid go to the second lowest bidder. So after I speak, you'll open up the floor to see if anybody from Dash Construction is here to be able to provide evidence that would refute our findings. We did contact them on April 26th, send them a letter and a phone call, and went over all those issues that we described. I'll just say they had responses that were not acceptable to me. They had a lot of excuses, nor could they provide any written evidence that provided any kind of evidence against those items of non-responsiveness and non-responsibility. Per the contract code, a responsible bidder under state law is a bidder who has demonstrated the attribute of trustworthiness, as well as quality, fitness, capacity, and experience to satisfactorily perform the public works project. In this case, Dash Construction does not meet the required attributes. Therefore, we're before you is to reject their bid, deem it as non-responsible and not responsive, accept the other 5 bids, and we would award to the second lowest bidder, who is RJ Noble out of Orange, California. And we have done previous work with RJ Noble. As a reminder, this is fully funded from using other funds, not city funds. On the table there, you see it's the gas tax, Prop C, local transportation funds, and the RMRA funding of just over $1 million. So with that, if you don't have any questions, I would open up the hearing to see if anybody from Dash Construction would like to comment.
I know in a lot of the times contracts, we're able to maybe get a little bit of extra work out of the contractor, and RJ Noble's a reputable company. But maybe asking, since we do have a sidewalk price or a curb and gutter price, that maybe in the area of where they're going to be working at, by Los Nietos Park or by the behind on Bartley and Barnwell, is it Barnwell? Bradwell. Maybe seeing if there's any emergency sidewalks that we can probably get done while they're there as a contractor, and maybe adding a little bit more to the contract.
We can take a look at it. We just don't want to violate anything where it's out of scope.
So
But it's something we can take a look at.
we're already doing sidewalk on the construction, right?
Yeah, we've identified an area, but if it's nearby, we can take a look at it.
Thank you.
And sidewalks will be part of the project as well, like you addressed, as well as spandrels. So the biggest impact to the community will be the cross gutters. So sorry, cross gutter spandrel. It's a piece of concrete, right? In the middle is the gutter, and the outside of the spandrel kind of looks like a triangle. We'll be replacing those at several locations that have failed. So that'll be probably the biggest impact to the community. So as you're seeing that, please slow down. You'll have the proper signage on when you can come in and out of those areas. Thank you.
All right, I just wanted to ask one more time, is there anyone here from Dash Construction Company who wishes to speak? All right, I will now close the hearing. Is there a motion for the approval of item number 12?
I'll move with the recommendations that Mr. Sarno put in.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? So ordered. Item number 13, presentations. Proclamation proclaiming May 15th, 2022 as Santa Fe Springs History Day. I would like to call on Parks and Recreation Services Manager, Gus Hernandez.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council. This year, on Saturday, May 15th, the city will be celebrating its 65th anniversary as a municipal agency. To celebrate this monumental achievement, the Historical and Community Preservation Advisory Committee has recommended that the City Council adopt its first ever Santa Fe Springs History Day to educate residents on the city's rich history and remember and understand the past so that we can build a brighter future. Here with us tonight, we have members of the Historical and Community Preservation Advisory Committee, and I'd like to invite the chairperson, Sally Gaitan, to the podium to give a brief history on the city's history.
Good evening, Madam Chair and Council. In the old days, before there was a city called Santa Fe Springs, there was a place called Santa Fe Springs, but it was not a real city. It had no city hall, no city council elections, and not a single municipal program. Long after World War II had ended, Santa Fe Springs was being operated as part of Los Angeles County. Less than 500 scattered residents, outnumbered by the 600 oil derricks called Santa Fe Springs home in 1949. There was no local shopping centers or gas stations. The mail they received was addressed to Four Corners, not Santa Fe Springs. Farmland rather than freeways dominated the scene, and cows grazed where Los Nietos Park is today. After decades of booms and busts, Santa Fe Springs was still just another town out in the country, but the place would not be out in the country very much longer. Los Angeles was growing, and post-war industries and people moving in needed affordable housing. So rural areas like this one suddenly looked attractive. The first housing tract, Imperial Crest, built in 1949, was at King's Camp, a eucalyptus grove that had shaded the shabby buildings and tents of a long gone house of ill repute that thrived during the 1920s oil boom. In 1952, the population of the city boomed to 8,000 and homes were sold for 13,000. But a new set of problems arose. Schools filled quickly, traffic was getting bad, dirt roads needed to be paved faster than the county government was capable of paving them. A homeowner association was formed in 1952, and because of the obscurity of their location, it was originally called the Little Lake Home Association. Later, it would be renamed the Santa Fe Springs Homeowners Association. In cooperation as a city, the elections must be held and a majority of the vote must agree to the formation of a municipal government. The debate over incorporation was fierce at times. Opponents of incorporation claimed that taxes would be raised for the new government. When the election was held on May 15th, 1957, Santa Fe Springs became a city by only 5% margin of victory. The first city election was held and the first city council was made up of Betty Wilson, Bill McCann, and John Marino from the residential district, and William Emron and Foy Lee Peak was from the industries. City Hall was located in an old house in Santa Fe, on Telegraph Road. And the first city building constructed was the library in 1961. The new City Hall followed in 1962. Today, there are 28 municipal buildings providing a wide array of services that range from day camps and older adult services to public works and community development. The oil wells are no longer outnumbering the residents, and Santa Fe Springs continues to be a great place to live, work, and to play. Thank you.
All right, I would like to call on our city clerk to read the proclamation.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Whereas the city of Santa Fe Springs was incorporated on May 15, 1957, and whereas on May 15, 2022, the city of Santa Fe Springs will celebrate its 65th anniversary. And whereas the city of Santa Fe Springs appreciates the diligent work of the Historical and Community Preservation Advisory Committee to recognize the significance of this monumental anniversary. And now therefore be it resolved that the city of Santa Fe Springs will celebrate its first Santa Fe Springs History Day. Thank you.
I'd like to invite members of the
Can we
historical-
have the historical committee come up and receive the proclamation?
How you doing, man? Join just one. Ready? 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, and 3. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, moving on to item number 13B, proclamation proclaiming May 15th through May 21st, 2022 as National Police Week. I would like to call upon the Director of Police Services, Dino Torres.
Oh, yeah, different look. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor Rodriguez, and good evening, council. May 15th is Peace Officers Memorial Day in the week in which it falls, National Police Week. It's been known as such since 1962 when President Kennedy first proclaimed it. Next slide, please. Throughout this week, and especially on Peace Officers Memorial Day, we recognize all those who put themselves at risk every day in order to provide a vital public service in safeguarding the rights and freedoms of our citizens. So here's a few pictures of our policing team. A lot of us have been here a while, so they're getting younger, right? We're getting older and they're getting younger. Looking at the beautiful slide that was put together by Community Services and the Historical Committee, I think those things are really important to show because it shows the backbone and the people that have built this community. So it's always great to see that. Next slide, please. We also honor the memory of those heroes who have fallen in the line of duty. The Whittier Police Department has been our partner for almost 27 years now. They have personally experienced 3 tragedies, the deaths of Detectives John Pierce in 1976 and Mike Lane in 1979, who both sustained fatal injuries conducting undercover investigations. Officer Keith Boyer was shot and killed by the driver of a stolen vehicle who was also wanted for murder, and that happened in 2017. So tonight, Captain Aaron Reese, will come forward to receive the proclamation after it's read by the city clerk. Thank you.
I would like to call upon the city clerk to read the proclamation.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Whereas Whittier police officers proudly serving the city of Santa Fe Springs are dedicated to protecting and serving our neighborhoods, schools, and families. And whereas our community members are encouraged to recognize law enforcement professionals, past and present, for their dedicated service to our communities and for their faithful devotion to their duty to serve and protect and to put their lives on the line for our safety. And now therefore be it resolved that the City Council of the City of Santa Fe Springs does hereby proclaim May 15, 2022 as Peace Officers Day and May 15 through May 25, May 21st as National Police Week. Thank you.
And would our police officers please come up for a picture and to receive your proclamation? Thank you so much. And now we're moving on to item number 13C, every 15 minutes program, Santa Fe High School. I would like to call upon the Director of Police Services, Dino Torres.
Good job, Dino.
Thank you and good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the council. It's a pleasure to be here this evening to give the report on the Every 15 Minutes program. It's hard to think about the last 2 years and just like so many other programs, weren't able to do those programs. This one particularly, the importance of this message and getting back to it this year was something that made everyone realize how important it was, and it went really well. Just to give a little bit of background to the program, the Every 15-Minute program is a 2-day program focusing on high school juniors and seniors, which challenges them to think about drinking, driving, personal safety, and the responsibility of making mature decisions and the impact their decisions have on family, friends, and many others. The program brings together a broad coalition of interested local agencies with the goal of reducing alcohol-related incidents among youth. The partnering of California Highway Patrol, local law enforcement, fire, local hospitals, emergency medical responders, schools, businesses, service clubs validates the importance of working together to ensure a healthy community. This 2-day program is very dramatic and emotional, and purposely so. Teenagers are constantly reminded about the choices they have to make involving alcohol and how many others are affected by their decisions. However, many teens share the belief it will never happen to them. This powerful program is designed to create an awareness among students that they are not invincible. The program helps to open the emotional doors to an unthinkable tragedy, bringing the pain of devastating loss. In this program, life goes back to normal the next day. But in real life, with poor decisions, the pain of loss remains and never comes back to normal. So what I want to do, and there's no children in the room, right? I just need to point out that there are some scenes in the mock crash scene that are part of this video. I wanted to make sure that there wasn't anyone that might be disturbed by that. And if there's anyone that is adult that might be disturbed by that, it is makeup, but it is as real as we can make it to give the power of the message. So let's take a look at this first slide and listen to it.
Dear Mom and Dad, every 15 minutes, someone dies as a result of an alcohol-related collision. Today, I died, and I never got a chance to tell you.
Okay, so this is a start to a letter that the students are tasked with completing as a final letter that they write to their parents as part of the program on the retreat overnight. They spend 24 hours away from the family to signify the loss. And the parents also write the same letter, the last words that they could say if they could talk to their teenager again. And then at the end of the night, those letters are exchanged. And you can see, and sitting through the parent meeting and going around the room of all the parents of the families that were involved, incredibly powerful and emotional. And you know, that is this program. To see that kind of emotion and those tears come out, the value there is amazing because it takes you right up to it, but it's still just not real. Okay, so let's take a look.
In the United States, 28 people die every single day as a result of impaired driving. The Every 15-minute program is designed to educate students about the dangers of poor decision-making when mixing alcohol, drugs, and driving.
All right, but hold up. First things first, the prom's coming up.
I got my dress yesterday.
Really?
Me too.
Are you ready? I haven't been to the beach in like in a while, honestly.
I'm honestly like so excited. We're gonna come by and we're gonna pick it up really fast and then we're gonna head out to with everyone else.
My breakfast. I just finished it right now.
Liz,
Actually,
I don't
before
think you
got-
should be drinking and driving. Did you guys get everything you needed?
Yeah, I think we did.
Whittier Police 911. Hi, I'm calling to report an accident. We need someone right away. Okay, and what address is it at? Oh, I'm at Santa Fe High School. I'm in front of the school in the parking lot. Okay.
How old are you? Okay.
Oh my God. No, you're okay.
Coming out.
All right, Care, if you can, just go ahead and drop an OPA on them and start bagging. I'm gonna get them on the monitor and start getting some IV access going here. All right, these are live. Yeah, keep it back. All right, let's go ahead and get that bag hung up. Just go ahead and start calling me up some epinephrine. All right, Randy's ready. All right, we got him on the monitor, guys. He's got a slow rate right now. Let's check the mechanical pulse too. Yeah, I'm not feeling anything. Definitely get him packed up.
Then we have to rush her to the X-ray.
Mom, it wasn't our fault.
Take your kid.
It's hard. It's really hard, Papa.
Oh, I'm
So you changed people's life just the way they changed mine. You killed people. That's worse. I can still live. I can still enjoy you guys, enjoy your brothers, enjoy you, enjoy my parents. But those people are gone. They'll never enjoy anything else.
In the United
Okay. As you can see, that a little bit pieced together because it's sections of the full program for anyone that would be interested in seeing the full little over 20-minute video. It's on our social media platform, our city YouTube channel. You can look about every 15 minutes and you'll find it and be able to view the whole program. Also, additionally, we have a guest speaker that comes to the assembly for the funeral piece of the program. And I noticed also on YouTube, her name's Chelsea Hill, and her story is also on YouTube at Santa Fe High School. So if you'd like to see the message that she had for the students and the connection to the students, was very powerful. You can catch that on YouTube too. So very powerful, and I know I can see the emotion up here. Many of you, council, have directly had family members part of the program, and probably some in the audience as well. And you know, it each year you do it, and the many years it still triggers that emotion to where, you know, that's how close to real it is. All the different groups coming together and multiple days of filming and months of coordinating planning, that only happens with a lot of dedicated individuals who value and totally understand how important this message is for our community and for our youth. We're very fortunate to have some of those key individuals here tonight, which we're going to recognize as part of the next slide. But quickly, I want to run through some of the sponsors for this event. We got the California Highway Patrol, the City of Santa Fe Springs, Mercier and Ryan Krieger, Vernola's Tow, Lisa Vernola, Guerrera at Gutierrez Mortuary, Jenny Lowers, First Baptist Church, Fernando Paredes, Sepia Productions, Steve Brown, Elite Stage and Lighting, Mike Johnson, Makeup Design, Sarah Navarrete, Woodside Florist, and Akeso Occupational Health in Santa Fe Springs. Next slide is a special guest, and some of these guests I mentioned as sponsors as well, but we're so very fortunate to have them here with us, and we want to definitely acknowledge them and express the appreciation that we have for the key role that they play and getting this powerful message out there. So I'm going to need those. I think the best way to do it is we'll go each group one at a time and take a picture, if that's okay with council. That way we don't have everyone all at once. So we'll start with California Highway Patrol. If we could have Kevin Tao, the Public Information Officer, and one of our CHP officers here. Next up, we have some special guests from Care Ambulance. Next up, we have our makeup artist, Sarah Navarrete. Next, we have some guests from Akeso Occupational Health. We could have them come up, please. And last but not least, we have our co-coordinator on the Schools In here, Assistant Principal Fernie Fernandez, Santa Fe High School. I could probably go on and on for each of those special thank yous, the roles that they play to make it possible to pull off something like this. And I just again want to thank all of you for taking the time to be here tonight and being the dedicated professionals that you are and giving back to the community as you do. It's very important. Thank you very much. Council, thank you for your continued support. And that's all I have. I take any questions if you have any
Mr.
questions.
Rick Brown, we'd like to thank you for all your hard work and dedication. And if you could come up and have a picture with us.
Juanita.
Me, yeah. Rick has been doing this every 15 minutes between 12 and 14 years. That's what we gather out of him. A little discussion up here. We want to thank you so much and thank everybody that sponsored and everybody that had a part of this. It was amazing. It was an experience. And thank you for getting Chelsea Hill. She was a phenomenal speaker, very inspirational, very impactful. And anybody that I suggest that anybody go and watch that video. It's just an eye-opener, a learning experience. Thank you so much. Thanks.
Madam Mayor, I just wanted to mention about our own Rick Brown. I was at an event a couple weeks ago, and he got a Special Community Service Award. It was presented by the Cesar Chavez Foundation and Supervisor Han's office, and it was for his special work with the youth and the community. And he did a fantastic speech and represented our community so well. We're all very proud of him that night. So Rick, congratulations to that also.
Before the CHP officers leave, I know it's Officer Memorial Week. I know your officers were in a very bad car accident. Please know, and I speak for all of us, they're in our prayers and you guys are our family. So your officers are in our prayers. So thank you for what you guys do. Thank you.
All right, we're going to move on to item number 14, city managers and executive team reports. I would like to call upon City Manager Ray Cruz.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. But before I start my reports, we have a very special announcement. We have a very special birthday tonight to celebrate, and that's you, Mayor. Annette Rodriguez, and we'd like to sing you happy birthday for your special birthday. And here comes Raylene with your cake. So on 3, let's sing happy birthday. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Annette. Happy birthday to you. Woo. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor and members of council, 2 weeks ago, I informed the city council and general public that I received an at-large appointment to the city manager sales tax working group from the League of California Cities City Managers Department. This appointment allows me to represent the city's interests when it comes to several proposals that would change the sales tax allocation, many having potential of being very detrimental to the city of Santa Fe Springs. Since a big piece of the Santa Fe Springs sales tax comes from business-to-business transaction, it's very important that our city's interests are being heard and protected. The first working group meeting was held Friday, April 22nd. The first meeting ran through the guiding principles and goals of the working group and some of the history of the attempts to change the sales tax allocation over the last 6 years. One concerning fact that I learned that happened back in 2016, the League of Cities Board of Directors passed a policy statement that advocates for a legislative change that would make the sales tax allocation a destination-based transaction. That is in place still to this day. So this potentially could have a devastating impact to our revenues. It is presently 68% of our revenues in our general fund comes from sales taxes. So this working group will be meeting monthly over the next 6 months, and I'll keep you apprised of all and any developments that arise. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to bring up the Director of Public Works, Noe Negrete.
Keep on coming back over here for some reason. Just a couple of things to report here. Thank you. A couple of things to report is we did complete the Clark Estate carpet replacement. So you have the pictures there. The main room, as you can see, the carpet is completed. Our goal was to complete this before the Art Fest. So I trust that they'll keep the carpet clean during the Art Fest, please. And you can see the stairway there. Again, the main table on the that's the downstairs area there. Came out looking fantastic. Wanted to say thanks to the staff there for working around us there. A couple other things to report on. The Lakeview Park Playground. So again, we're in contact with the manufacturer. They tell us we're going to get that slide bracket this week. As soon as we get that bracket, we'll install immediately. And then we will remove the fence and open back up the playground. So we will keep you notified when that is ready to reopen. There's also the Danby street lights. So we've been playing around with different models of lights. We did receive those, I want to say today, and we are scheduling to install those 5 lights on Thursday, as well as Edison did start their work as well today. Converting their Edison-owned lights, a little over 350 lights in and around town to LED lights. So you'll see that. Lastly, I want to share a story here. We talk about our staff, and at least in my staff, we talk about doing the right thing. And I think a lot of times we overlook the fact that people do a lot of things in this community for little or no recognition. So I want to tell you a story. Late Thursday afternoon, we were notified from Whittier High School. A counselor reached out to a staff member at Whittier High and notified them that they had a student who had very limited clothing. And the little that they could share with us is the person was taken from their mother. The last time that person remembers seeing their mother, they were 9 years old. And they remember how old they were, because it was the first time they had gone to McDonald's. And the person ate pancakes, and they thought they were the king because they were eating pancakes at McDonald's. And that was the last time that the student saw the mother. Was placed in different family members, went from there to Mexico, from Mexico, went to a different aunt in Vegas. And from that aunt in Vegas was now with an aunt in Whittier, going to Whittier High School. And he took with him 2 pairs of pants and 2 pairs of shirts. It was a size 9 shoe and he was wearing size 7 because that's all he had. So this staff member then reached out to one of our employees who I've asked to be here today. So I want to thank him for coming because he absolutely did not want to come here and be recognized. But I thought it was important. This staff member has a huge heart, if you know him, very passionate about his community, generous and caring and giving to others. So before I complete the story, I'm going to ask Mr. Raul Chavez to come up, please, to the front, please. Come on up. We're going to parade you today. Come on over here. You have a chance to talk real quick. So again, he did not want to be here. He told me, like, when I walked over here, he was really nervous, really anxious. You can turn around, Raul, face the audience. Okay, so Raul, I saw Raul in the afternoon on Thursday, late Thursday, probably around 2 o'clock, 2:30, I forget. And he told me that story. And he said that he was actually trying to gather items for this student because he was trying to get the student some items by Monday. Okay. It's a very small world. In talking to Raul, the staff member that he talked to was his mom. His mom works for Whittier High School. And in talking that story about what his mom did, very small world, my aunt and his mom worked together. So we talked about, I said, Raul, go ahead, you have free reign. He was very nervous to tell me because he was saying, we have to deliver it during work, boss. Are you okay with that? And I said, Raul, I'm 100% okay with that. We're helping people. So go ahead and ask as many people as you want in the yard, tell them the story, and whoever is fortunate to be able to donate, let's make that happen. And if you have to go during work hours, I think I know enough people that'll grant you that ability to go do that, and we're not going to ding you for that. He was able to talk to some people, and he was able. I didn't see the final collection, so he may be able to tell you more. But we were able to collect numerous clothing items, shoes, the right size, shirts, pants, shorts, socks, underwear, a backpack, and toiletries to give to this student. On Monday, Raul and Johnny Chavarria were able to deliver it. I also want to acknowledge those that donated in Public Works, and there was one in the city manager's office. So besides Raul, Johnny Chavarria, Laura Cabrera, Norma Aguilera, Joe Barrios, Kevin Perryman, Priscilla Moreno, and myself were able to give to this student. Again, these are the kind of employees that we have. He didn't want to be acknowledged. I had to beg him to come here. He was trying to get others to come with him, and I see he wasn't successful in that because they didn't want to come. But again, I told you this the other day, but you really made a difference in this kid's life. We always say, if you make a difference in one person's life, you had a successful life. You've done that, and you're going to continue to do that. And I think it's important that you be acknowledged that you did make a difference for your community, and in particular for this one kid. So I want to say thank you.
I don't know what to say, but I appreciate Noé for his help, Kevin, Priscilla Moreno. She put it on Facebook and she had a lot of people donating. I'd like to thank all my council. You guys have always been supportive for us, and all the rest of the city employees. I love this city and I love all of you guys. Thank you so much.
Real quick, just to let you know, Raul is also an artist. He actually has 2 paintings that I have in my office. So he's such a shy guy that when he did these drawings, how many years ago, Raul? Like 4 years, 5 years ago. And he goes, "What do you think, sir?" I go, "I'm going to put it in my office." And he's like, no, I don't want anybody to know. So I'm letting you guys all know those drawings that I have on top, Raul's the one who actually did them. So.
Also, you guys don't realize that, like I said, I met all through the city, but the stuff that he does, the things that he does without people knowing, he volunteers at the Sheriff's Academy for underprivileged kids from LA, from South LA. It's South Whittier from LA. And what he does for them, you have no idea. I actually went to one of the programs that they have, and to see what he does, and without anybody even knowing what he does after work, it's amazing. And he does it because he wants to help, and not the acknowledgement, nothing of the accolades. He does it because it's Raul. I thank you so much. I mean, I love to say that you're one of our city staff, but the fact that you're our friend, it's awesome to see how they look at you. I mean, being there, I was there, and these kids, these kids don't even look like they would respect anybody, and they look up to him and see. I mean, he just walks in and they just trying to stop, like, okay, because they want to make sure they approve of what they're doing to Raul, and they look at him like such a big mentor. It was just an honor, and just like I was in awe to see how they all looked at you, and you did it from your heart. And that's what's awesome. So thank you for being you. Thank you.
Thank you for speaking to the,
Oh.
I believe the Women's Empowerment.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'd like to thank Mr. Zamora, he donated some toys for the toy drive. Mr. Sarno as well. I'd like to thank both of you guys, all three of you, for all your help. Thank you guys so much.
Raul, I would like to say we have our women's club here, our women's club members here, and we'd like to get together with you after. Maybe we can do something and give some back to that student that you helped. We'd like to do that too, ladies. Thank you.
Noe, thank you for sharing that story. And Raul, thank you for being who you are. Now let's bring up Director of Planning, Wayne Morrell.
I do not have anything to report. Thank you.
Oh, Wayne. He's going to Vegas. He'll report after that.
Thank you. Director of Police Services, Dino Torres.
Two items. We get called to attend events many times, not only our events that we put on, but in this case, we were at Heritage Springs, there, the Villages, this past weekend. They invited us a couple weeks ago to go to provide some information, get to know the community, let them know what are the services that we provide. And so we're always willing and we're excited to do that. So in this case, we had a new member, Ashley Diaz, who's a new recruit. We have a part-time recruit, and John Wesselman go out there this past Saturday. They have a big yard sale. They've had that for years. So it's a great opportunity to do that. Next slide, please. And the S&T, we have it tomorrow. It's at 6:30 at TCH, the meeting, and it'll be in person. It's been a while, a couple of years maybe, since we haven't had it in person. So we look forward to that, to seeing everyone. I see some of the people here in the audience that attended. So it's tomorrow at 6:30. It'll be at TCH, second floor. It's every other month. And so we look forward to doing that and to meeting the members of our community again and having that close contact. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dina. I'd like to bring up Fire Chief Brent Hayward.
Thank you. Good evening. I was asked the other day to provide a review of an incident that occurred on April 27th at 6:36 p.m. at FiberTech over on Dice. So I'm going to go into that a little bit if I could get the first slide. Our fire and rescue hazmat personnel responded to FiberTech at 8851 Dice Road to a report of sensors picking up an acid vapor and personnel involved in a spill at the location. Next slide. Excuse me. Just to give everyone a sense of where this is, Dice is along the right-hand side of the slide. Los Nietos is at the bottom. Burke Street is up at the top, and Norwalk is off to the left-hand side. Our fire station 2, is just to the right side, just off the slide. When the battalion chief arrived on scene, he was met by plant personnel who stated that they had a broken pipe in a 12,000-gallon acid tank, and that the leak had been stopped by personnel, and the volume was about 200 gallons of hydrochloric acid. A worker was splashed and had some minor to moderate to chemical burns to the face and hands. Basically, the individual was decontaminated on scene by plant personnel and decontaminated himself. There was another individual involved who helped him get out,
and he had some vapor respiration issues. So he was treated by our paramedics on scene. At that time, the battalion chief ended up calling a full hazmat response. We received mutual aid from LA County, Downey paramedics, and our other personnel. Our people from Station 3 brought up our hazmat rig, and we transitioned into a hazmat mode. At this point, our personnel utilized monitors, and we involved Whittier PD early. We formed a unified command, and thank you again, Captain, for your help. Let everybody know they did a fantastic job. We used our sensors and monitors to monitor the north side of Burke over where some residences were. Luckily for us, the spill was contained to a confinement area. There was a small bit of a cloud, but it was contained there on the property. We had a contingency plan in place to be able to knock that fog down with the hose streams and fog streams that would take it, convert that hydrochloric acid spill and take it to the ground, and then just deal with a simple hazmat on the ground. But there is a containment pit in that simple area. Next slide. So what was the spill? The spill was a hydrochloric acid at what they call 36% concentration, which is 2% below the maximum concentration that you can make or store what would be considered stable. It's used in the production of vinyl chloride, fertilizers, dyes, pigments, pharmaceuticals, rubber products, semiconductor manufacturing, even leather tanning, and cottonseed producing. This is a very common industrial chemical, and this plant's been involved in that process for 50 plus years. This is the only time I've really seen an incident in the last 10 years at the facility. The incident occurred just before 6:30 p.m. and just before 9 p.m. we were able to release all the units back into the city. They were able to dilute the concentration, pump it back into the tank. Our hazmat personnel were there. Our environmental response personnel were there. Tiffany Shedrick, Chief Chad Van Meteren was on recall that night. He worked with the different state agencies and the other hazmat individuals to make notifications on that. And the overall outcome of the incident was very positive. No exposures, no injuries, with the exception of the plant personnel. We train with these individuals as hazmat members over the years. And so they've given us access to their facility as well as some of the other chemical facilities in the city. And so we appreciate that bond that we have with those individuals. And it definitely helps us when we do have a response in those areas. So with that, that concludes my report. Thank you.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Thank you, Chief.
I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I want to clarify something. I was so eager to meet in person. I said tomorrow, Tuesday. No, it's the following Tuesday, May 10th. We can meet tomorrow too if you want, but it'll be tomorrow. I mean, I'm sorry, it'll be Tuesday, May 10th. Tomorrow with you. Tuesday, May 10th, 6:30, TCH, second floor. Thank you. Tomorrow with you and Tuesday.
Thank you for that clarification, Dino. Now I'd like to bring up Director of Finance, Travis Hickey.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of council. Tonight, I would like to bring up, after I was gone a couple of meetings ago, I had such positive reports about how great that Alvaro gave a presentation. So I said, well, you know, practice makes perfect. So let's get him up here again. Now, we recently completed our transition to the online business system through our partnership with HDL, and Alvaro was our lead staff person on that. And so I did ask him to come up and give a brief presentation on the new business license system. So Alvaro Castellan is our senior budget analyst.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. Travis, thank you for that. So as Travis was mentioning, there's one item I'd like to report on today. And again, it's to inform you that we've transitioned over to HDL as of Monday, April 18th. As you know, they're our sales tax consultant. And now they'll be our business license administrators and perform business license audits on behalf of the city. What it means now for the businesses is that they will have the convenience of applying and obtaining a new license or renewing a license completely online or by phone. And our entire business license process in terms of permits and zoning compliance remains the same. The only difference is that staff now have access to an approval portal, and all approvals are done through this web-based portal. There are two portals that I'll be showing you in just a second. The first one is the portal businesses will use to apply or renew their business licenses. And the second one is the approval portal where planning and fire staff review all new applications. Next slide, please. Okay, so this is what a business owner would see when they get into the portal, which can be accessed through our website in order to process a business license. There are several options, as you can see here, but I'll walk you through the apply, renew, and search screens. Next slide, please. So this is what a business will see when they are applying for a new business license. And I apologize, I know it's small on the screen, but essentially it's the site where a business would apply for a new business license. All the fields have to be filled out and are essentially the same fields that are needed from our for our normal business license applications, such as name, the name of the business, the address of the business, employee count, phone number, etc. Once these are filled out, all the new businesses then are placed in the approval portal for planning and fire's review. And I will show you what that looks like here in a second. But once planning and fire review it and approve it, then the business will pay the tax and receive their business license certificate either by email or by mail. Next slide, please. And this is what the renewal screen option looks like when a business needs to make a renewal. A really good feature of this is that the businesses will see most of the information already pre-filled and they only need to update a couple of fields. And again, they pay the tax and then similarly receive the certificate either by mail or email. Next slide, please. This last screen here is a business search function where you can search by name, address, or business type. In this case, I search, and I want to clarify, this is open to the general public, so anyone can go on here and type in a business and find out whether a business has a license or not. In this case, for this demonstration, I searched for businesses with the letter A, and next slide, please. This is what shows up, and there are thousands of them. This is just the first page, but simply typing in a letter of the business name or street address or a business type will get you any search results that you're looking for. Next slide, please. This is a second portal that we have access to. This is what we call the approval portal. This, as mentioned, primarily is for planning and fire staff. This is the first screen that staff see once they log in. What they'll see is all businesses that are awaiting a review in this grid here. And then the business then goes through the review process, and once planning, fire, and if needed, the building department sign off an application on an application, the business is then issued a license. And next slide, please. And this last screenshot here shows all the details from the businesses that the departments may need for the review. This, in essence, ensures that everyone involved knows where in the process of business is and any other details that they may need from a particular business. And that is a very brief demo of it, but I hope it was informative. And we're hoping that this provides our businesses with convenient options for them. Again, I'd like to thank the mayor and the city council for their support, our city manager and our finance director for their guidance, and special thanks to Clarabelle Catalan, who's our account clerk, for her efforts on this as well. And that concludes my report for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Alvaro.
I have a question real quick. Have we, to submit the business license, we sent that over to the chamber so they can have it on their website too? Can we do that since, a lot of their businesses are through the chamber?
We do, and in fact, we've worked with HDL to have information about the chamber included on both our online application as well as the instructions for completing it online. So we have the links both ways. And so, yeah, there is one kind of piece I'm working with the chamber before we really go live with them, but we're definitely keeping them in the loop.
Thank you. And just a reminder for myself, when you met 2 weeks ago, we had the study session on the business license fee study. And we have got questions from the chamber working group we've worked with the last 9 months on, and many of the people were there that night who spoke. So they've submitted questions to us from that night. And we're going to be meeting with this Friday to go through those questions. So we're making progress, and we have some meaningful information. We're going to bring it back again to the council for a study session and possibly have some one-on-ones before that. So thank you, guys. Appreciate that. And then finally, we have Director of Community Services, Maricela Balderas.
Thank you, Ray. Good evening, Mayor, members of the council and audience. I have a couple of reports to share with you this evening. Wanted to start off with our Hoop Stars program. The Hoop Stars program is for children in grades kindergarten through 2nd grade. And the program ended on Friday, April the 22nd. We had 58 participants in the program. The program's designed to teach the fundamental skills of basketball while building interpersonal relations through teamwork and an appreciation to physical activity. The participants learn spot-specific offensive and defense positions, basic game concepts, and fundamental skills such as dribbling, passing, and shooting. Throughout the season, participants put their skills to the test through scrimmages against one another. And the activities were designed to enhance skill development and build self-esteem. And I want to show a short video that shows a little bit about our program. And then next I want to let you know that our city staff and our art consultant, Sandra Hahn, are putting the final touches on the Art Fest for our annual Art Fest, which is scheduled for this Friday, May the 6th from 3 to 11. After a 2-year pause because of the pandemic, we're bringing back the event, and it's going to continue to provide local artists the opportunity to display and sell their artwork. This year, we have over 200 artists displaying various disciplines and 20 films that are going to be featured. The event it will follow the same format as in previous years, and it'll include educational workshops, art vendors, food, beverages, and entertainment. And additionally, the preview and art show will be held on Thursday, May the 5th from 5 to 8, also there at the Clark Estate. This will also provide our business community and our community residents the opportunity to come out and enjoy an art mixer and view the art, and then purchase some of the art pieces as well. City Council should have received your Art Fest invite with all the details to the event. So please review your information, and if you have any questions, please call me or Ed Ramirez if we can answer any questions. And we look forward to another great event. We're all very excited to bring it back. And here's a video of the promotional video that we've been putting on social media to promote the event. That's the billboards that off the 5 freeway. I think that's it. Then also want to have everybody join us on this coming Friday for Mother's Day celebration at the Gus Velasco Neighborhood Center from 9 to 11:30. The attendees are going to enjoy a light continental breakfast, and a special gift is going to be given to all our mothers attending the event. The event is free, and for more information, you can call the Gus Velasco Neighborhood Center, and registration continues to be open. We'll close registration tomorrow at 5 o'clock. And then we have El Día de los Niños, Día de los Libros at the library. The library celebrated the 25th anniversary of El Día de los Niños, El Día de los Libros, Children's Day, Book Day, On April the 26th, for the event, the library staff prepared a special 2-hour bilingual story time. The staff started the evening with reading 3 Spanish books and a sing-along followed by children's loteria with prizes. And then the event concluded with 3 crafts stations, some Spanish book giveaways, and some refreshments. We had about over 80 children and 50 adults who attended the event, and everybody had a great time. And here's a video that recaps that event. And then lastly, I just want to wish all the mothers in our community a happy Mother's Day. That concludes my reports. Thank you.
Thank you, Maricela. And Madam Mayor, members of council, that ends our executive team reports.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We're going to move to item number 15, appointments to boards, committees, and commissions. Councilmember Martin. Thank you. Councilmember Mora.
I have one, Mark Fresquez to Planning Commission.
Thank you. Councilmember Sarno. Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Zamora.
And none tonight.
Thank you. And I have one, Zulema Gamboa for Youth Leadership Committee. And now we have council comments. We're going to start off with Councilmember Martin.
Rick's not here anymore. Just want to say everybody that was involved in that every 15 minutes, that's awesome. I mean, it's great. If we could save just one life, makes the biggest difference. So that's just an awesome program. It was great to see everybody coming out for the pool. I mean, even though it did say on the paperwork that we're going to close it down, but it did bring people out there. Maybe that's what we needed. But it's great. Noe, it's going to challenge you, but thank you for taking the challenge on. So hopefully we'll get a nice pool or something like that, something good. I have a question. I don't know if I should talk to Chief. I see the yellow fire trucks. I know those aren't really our fire trucks. And I found out that because ours needed to be fixed. Whenever we can get our fire trucks, do we need to do something to push that issue because if fire season is coming, those yellow trucks need to be ready to go for wildfires. What are we going to do if we have no fire trucks?
We have a plan in place. I'm working with the yard on that. Parts have been difficult to get a hold of at times. We do have approval from the state to use that. Our things are getting repaired. We should be back in order pretty soon. Our new engine and our new truck are in Ontario. They're getting fitted with all the equipment that they need and mounted. We're hoping to have those here within about 3 weeks.
Perfect.
Very temporary.
I just know that we are, and we pride on being the best. And I feel that our fire guys need the best out there. So I see it going by my house every day. I'm like, that's not our truck. So
Yeah, no, I understand that. It is a little frustrating. When things go down, they tend to come in waves. Again, we're all working together on that. And
perfect.
we should have it fixed very soon.
Thank you. Thank you. Police Week, please don't just wait for Police Week to thank an officer out there. Thank them every day. They go out there every day, just like the CHP officers went out there to help an accident, and now they're in the hospital fighting for their life. So please don't just wait for this week of Police Week. Thank them every day because they're out there saving our lives every day. I take it more to heart now that I'm married to one. So, but it's please every day thank a fireman out there, thank a police officer because they're doing a job that none of us would like to do. So thank you, everyone in uniform here. Thank you for what you do. Fernando, hopefully next time. Oh, where'd he go? Don't tell him his wife went into labor already. Hopefully next time he'll be here. he'll be a daddy. So good luck for Fernando and happy Mother's Day to everyone. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, moving on to Councilmember Mora.
Thank you so much. I had the opportunity to attend my first Rotary Club meeting today. I've heard about them, seen them around, had no idea what they did, but they do a lot for, actually, it's international. We have our own Rotary Club here in Santa Fe Springs, and my gosh, they do grants and scholarships. They sent 20 kids to camp, leadership camp just a couple of weeks ago. And so, yeah, what a fantastic organization. So my hats off to them, and I encourage anybody to look into Rotary Club. They do a lot of good for our local community. Raul, you know, I know you, I've seen you, but my gosh, what a big heart you've got. And, you know, my gosh, my full respect to you, and, you know, keep doing what you're doing. And I know that, you know, you had a little bit of a team, but had not started with you, that would not have been done. So, you know, so happy to have you, you know, working for our city and being part of our community. So thank you so much for what you did there. And also a Brighter Reality at Santa Fe High School. You know, again, we had our Chamber of Commerce, Santa Fe High School, our city, business community come together to let the kids know what reality might be like. And what it was just an exercise where they are given a job and a salary, and they get to buy things to see if they have enough money at the end of the week. A lot of them went broke. Kids were buying boats and they had to return them because they didn't have enough money. But you know, I'm so happy to see that, because they're getting a little, exactly what it's called, Brighter Reality. Annette participated there with me, and but you know, these kids had a little bit of a rude awakening, thinking, well, I think I could buy a boat. No, you can't. You know, depending on the job you had. So you know, great job there. Juanita was there with the grand opening of La Hara, and just so happy to see businesses alive and, you know, thriving, and just the community coming together to support our local businesses. So you know, it was great to see. Every 15 minutes, I know Rick's gone, but you know, I wish every single high school in the country had Dino. Do they have it, or is this just local? I'm not too sure.
So they have this, but they don't do as good a job as we do.
No, I'm sure they don't. No, I know. But you know what, if,
You guys are very supportive. We have funding for it, besides the grant we get from the CHP. So all you need to do is, the schools need to go to the CHP and get that grant. It's not a competitive grant. It's $1 under $10,000. And then, but we supplement that. So we have the opportunity to get a professional videographer that puts on a great production. And then we have our staff.
Yeah.
So they don't have that.
No, but what a great program, you know, because it could save, they keep saying one life, but I'm sure they're saving, you know, countless lives. And my son participated in that a few years back. And yeah, it's a big emotional impact. So let's keep that one going. And also, you know, Police Week, I know that we're acknowledging them this week, but, you know, we got to thank our officers each and every single day for what they do, keeping us safe out there and risking their lives for us. Mayumi, thank you for, you know, taking the bull by the horns. Yeah, that's what I say. But, you know, for that grant, you know, appreciate it. And we just need more people like you writing grants so we could actually get money into our community. Looking forward to Art Fest this week. And also, but not least, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, and also the single dads. Thank you for what you do.
Thank you. And now we have Councilmember Sarno.
Thank you. First and foremost, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. It's a great day to celebrate, and just thank you guys for everything you've done for all of us, and, you know, your sons, daughters, and family members. I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. You know, we have a lot of great people in this community, as we've seen today with the pool. Raul, you know, the stuff that you do behind closed doors is things that nobody else would even think of. But thank you for the kindness of your heart and what you really want to give to the community, and not just to our community, to all kids, because everybody needs a little bit of help sometimes. I was honored to be at the Cesar Chavez event for another one of our staff members, Rick Brown. You know, he does some great things that I don't think people really realize the level and the stuff that he actually does for our community and our kids, and to get things done. And a lot of people don't even know it. And that's what makes us a great city. It actually felt like a normal meeting so far. You know, having all of us up here, having all of you in the audience. We're gonna have Art Fest. We had the every 15 minutes. Things are starting to progress forward. Noah, you got a big challenge in front of you, as you know. But we're all here to support it and to make sure that we get it right. So with that, you guys have a great time this weekend at the Art Fest, and be safe.
And now we have our Mayor Pro Tem Zamora.
I'll try to make mine short. Just to echo what all my colleagues have said. They've actually hit it on, spot on. So what I just would like to do is just for those moms, happy Mother's Day. Those single fathers, like John said, happy Mother's Day, because it is a job that, that is difficult to do. I mean, moms are the rock of the family. They're the shield. They're your protectors. They do everything. They love you, whether you're doing good or bad. It doesn't matter. Your mom will always be your mother. And the Bible actually says that, to honor your mother and father will give you full life. And the interpretation is that you won't have regret when they pass away, and you won't have regret if they're no longer there. So that's what it means to give you full life, because it gives you a sense of peace. So I ask you, children, all you guys, just to step up and, always honor, always respect your mother and father. Give them the thanks that they deserve. I mean, happy Mother's Day to Juanita. Happy Mother's Day to Annette. When you lose a loved one, I know two of our members up here don't have a mother. And, when you lose a loved one, it's difficult. It's difficult. And, you go through life wondering what more they could have done in your life. And, sometimes, we may think, or you may think that whether you're not appreciated, or that you might be more of a, just in the presence of maybe, I have an opinionated mother. So, sometimes, so I'm not, I just look at it and I just smile, but, you have to understand that, our moms, I really love you, mother. Without you, you are the rock of our family. You do you complete the milestones that, you try to do your best to keep us together as a family. And without you, that's not possible. And I know in life, everything is possible as long as you have God in the forefront. So I just ask that God may put a hedge of protection around all of our moms in our communities. And remember, you men, honor your wives, honor your mothers, and just always be respectful and mindful. You guys take care, and God bless. Have a good night.
Thank you. Thank you, all our council. Great comments. And I just have a little bit. I just wanted to say, first off, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. We know how difficult life can be because we do work hard. Anybody that is a mom knows that our kids come first. We will fight like this. We will fight hard because we love them so much. We'll do anything for our kids. And, it's just, but the reward is just great being a mother. I'm so happy that I had the opportunity to have my two children, which are adults, and my beautiful 5 grandchildren. I don't know, Thomas and I don't know where we'd be without them. So just happy Mother's Day. Have fun and enjoy. My mother's birthday is actually May 10th. And I just want to thank my mother for everything that she's done for me. She was my rock. And I hope people think I'm strong, but if you ever thought I was strong, you hadn't seen nothing yet. When, no one here has had the opportunity to meet my mother, but she was a very larger than life lady. So thank you, Mom. I wanted to say that thank you to Travis Hickey for my tour to meet the finance department. As mayor, I made it a point to visit all the departments, I'll have one-to-ones with all the directors. Travis took me to the finance department and introduced me to all the staff. And to my surprise, I met I was a mentor to one of his staff members, Geneva Ramirez. And I just looked at her and I said, was I your mentor before? And she said, yes. And I said, okay, I remember. They're adults now, but I was her mentor when she was about 16 years old. So it was a great opportunity. I want to thank you for that. And he also set it up where I had the opportunity to tour the yard with Vince and Vanessa. And great experience. Vanessa drives a forklift. My mother used to drive a forklift in the warehouse. And when I saw her jump up on that forklift and I said, "You go, girl, do it with your bad self." So she just started laughing. I just thought it was nice because, in my warehouse in Compton, we don't have women working in the warehouse. But in Houston, Texas, we have about 7 women working in the warehouse, so it's different. I really respect women that are able to get up on those forklifts and ride them. I don't know how to ride one, but maybe if the opportunity arises, Vanessa can show me maybe one of these days, just as long as I don't get hurt. So I wanted to say too, the chamber event, Councilmember Moore and I went over there, and yes, we were supposed to tell the kids, encourage them to buy expensive stuff, encourage them to eat out so that they can waste their money. But these kids were smart. They were just saying, "No, I prefer to eat at home. I don't want to waste my money. I want to eat healthy." So it was a very good experience to be there. Dino, you're laughing? Yes. Also, I wanted to thank our Women's Club members that are here today. We actually have 2 chairpersons, and Mary Arias is the chairperson to our Quartermania. She's been a member of the Women's Club for over 20 years. She made the most money a bit on the Quartermania for this year. And this money goes into the scholarship program, and that in turn is our chairperson, Hilda Zamora. And so these ladies just continually give back. And I just want to say thank you for all your hard work throughout the years. And they're just an amazing, strong women. So yes, Hilda.
Being that you're mentioning our Women's Club, I just want to let you know that we have 12 students that we will be giving scholarship, and nine are going to go to Santa Fe High. 1 is going to St. Paul, 1 is going to St. Joseph, and the other one is going to Downey High. She attends Downey High School, but they're all city residents.
Thank you. These women change lives, and they are specifically focused on the youth and how they can give back to our community. And I just wanted to say thank you. They're such hard workers. Raul Chavez. Okay, I met you a couple of times. I know everybody else probably knows you real well, but we'd like to get to know you more. And I really do want to see how we can help that student more. And just, giving back is the greatest gift of all. And, I know that you don't want praise. You didn't even want to be here you're very humble. But I want to thank you because there needs to be more people out there that will just give back and, make a difference in people's lives. So thank you for everything that you do. We respect everything that you do for everybody, because I know it's not just the youth, it's probably other people as well. Our Art Fest, we're looking forward to it. We're so excited for it. It's going to be amazing. Thank you, Eddie, for coming and meeting with me today and going over every detail. And he's worked so hard to coordinate and put every piece of paperwork and the scripts together for me. And I wanted to thank all the committee, because I know that AJ Hayes is here, Hilda, and everybody that's on the Art Fest, the HAC, Heritage Arts Advisory Committee. They do such a great job. It's going to be an amazing event. I hope I see everybody there to experience it. And so with that, I would just like to say have a nice evening and just enjoy your Mother's Day. Thank you. Okay, we're not done yet. We have one more thing before we close. I would like to adjourn the meeting in memory of Kirk D. Wilson Sr., owner of Expert Plant Care. Thank you.